What's up boys, in this video I will cover the best job spots for solo FNCS. So of course, as you all know, the solo FNCS is coming right up and I made plenty of videos about this, including the formats and why it's locked for some of you guys. So go check them out in the top right corner and also in the description. But in this video I will cover the best job spots. And if you perfect these jobs, I guarantee you will do so good in solo FNCS. So I will be covering job spots including that are contested and that are not contested. So depending on your playstyle, if you like early game fighting, you can do that, and if you don't like early game fighting, well, you don't have to. And then at the very end, I will include my own job spot, so make sure to stick around because it is OP. But now super quick, before we jump in this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But now let's not waste any more time, let's jump in the video. So the first job spot is this bridge right here, and I recommend dropping over here. So there's one floor loot spawn, there's one up top, and there's a chest in here, and also another floor loot spawn. In this little spot, in this one building, there's 3 floor loot spawns and 1 chest. So this guarantees you will get good guns right off the bat, and then you can go over here, get another floor loot, and if someone contests you, well, you can just beam them. Right, so this is a perfect job spot if you don't want anyone to contest you. Now, of course, occasionally someone will contest you, but if you get a better job than them, you will definitely win it. So of course, for all of these job spots, I really recommend perfecting your job and trying to practice it, because that is the most important thing. If you land first and get a gun, you will definitely win your job spot all the time. But about this job spot now, there's plenty of metal, so the cars are gone from the game now, so it's really hard to get metal. But in this spot, you can get full metal so easily because of course this whole bridge is made out of metal. So you can get full metal right off the bat, and then you have so much brick over there, and of course plenty of trees all around. And then you can go down here and there's a chest and more floor loot. And of course you rotate through this area and get some more loot over here. And if you have insane loot, well, you can go over to this gas station and fight someone over here. Or of course, if it's uncontested, then you can go loot it. But now let's move on to a more contested spot, and the one that recently came back. And of course, it is Slurpy Swamps. That's right boys, Slurpy Swamps is back. So if this was your drop spot before, or you want to make this your new drop spot, well, you can. So there's plenty of options where to land first. You can land up there on the tower, and there's actually a chest up there, as you can see, and you can get a gun and beam someone. And now another good spot to drop is those 2 buildings over there. So you can just loot up safely and then push whenever you're ready. And as you can see, there's plenty of slurp barrels, so you will definitely not run out of shield. Now as I said, this job spot is going to be contested for sure, but if you're good at early game fighting, well, this is a job spot for you because these slurp barrels actually reduce your RNG so much. Alright, so if you're confident in fighting but don't want to rely on RNG, well, this is definitely a really good drop spot. Because I know it's so annoying when people get a shotgun and some shield from their first chest, but this guarantees you full shield. And of course, from this spot you can rotate easily because there's plenty of water all around. You can just swim wherever you want and it's a free rotation. But now let's move on to the next job spot. Now this job spot is very unusual. So many of you probably know this, but there's a boat that moves around every single game, and it basically appears in a different spot every single time. And it's of course this boat over here. Now in order to find this boat, I would definitely recommend going into settings and turning your view distance on far. Because of course from the battle bus you will need to see like the whole map basically in order to find this thing. But once you drop here, I recommend going on top so you can land first, and then grabbing some guns, grabbing this chest, and then you can hit these things to get some shield or peppers. And then of course, depending on your loot, you can either push the player that landed here, if someone landed here, or you can continue looting because there's plenty of slurp barrels right here and there's another chest. But this spot is contested pretty often, and actually Buga himself said he's gonna drop over here for solo FNCS, so be careful for that. But yeah, there's an upgrade machine, there's a boat to rotate, there's even more slurp barrels, and there's even an airdrop, so you're guaranteed to get a launch pad. And of course more chests, and more of these things which give you peppers or shield. Now peppers are actually so OP in solos, so if you get them, I definitely recommend picking them up. Also there's this thing which can give you floppers, even more shield, so you're guaranteed to get full shield. And it has some decent mats. You're not gonna get full, but there's plenty of metal and plenty of wood. Then of course, depending on where this boat is, you can rotate to get some brick. And now this job spot is more low-key, so not a lot of players will contest you, but occasionally 1 or 2 players will. And it's this broken castle right here. And honestly, it is super underrated. So the way you can win this castle is by landing up here, dropping down, getting a gun, and then depending on where players are, you can beam them. Alright, so someone can land over here and you can just beam them depending on what gun you have, of course. Or someone might land down here and you can just kill them. Or if you don't get an AR, well, you can go down here. There's plenty of floor loot. Oh, and also, forgot to mention, boys, there's a chest right here. Alright, so you land up there, depending if there's a gun there or not, you can drop down over here, open this chest, and then you can beam. Now, I got a shotgun, so that's not gonna work. So what I would do is go down here and get some more loot before I fight. And as you can see, there's plenty of floor loot spawn as you go down here. Even more ammo boxes and even more chests. So this spot is absolutely amazing. Like, there's so many chests and there's so many floor loot spawns. Again, I think it is really underrated. And there's even more chests down here. Like, there's so many hidden chests. Now obviously you can get full brick super easily. Like, this whole castle is made out of brick, obviously. And then you can hit these things for some metal, and of course farm this for some wood. And I guarantee you will be stacked for endgame. Now yes, this is at the edge of the map, but look, you have a whirlpool right here, and then you have another huge whirlpool over there, and even another one over here. And if somehow you don't have enough loot after all of that, well, you can go to this boat if it's uncontested and get some more loot. Now I don't see why people would drop here, because this boat is not the best. So it's most likely going to be uncontested. So you can rotate over here and get some more metal if you want. And then finally go to the whirlpool and rotate to zone. And now before we get into my drop spot, let's go over one last drop spot. And it's going to be Shark. That's right, boys, Shark is back. And as you can see, it's kind of destroyed, not gonna lie. But there's still plenty of chests and loot all around. And if you're wondering if the vault is back, well, it's not. If you go in it, it is actually just empty. But the good thing about it is there's no more AIs, because those things were so annoying. I hate them so much. They always like triple dink me, like, I swear. But yeah, as you can see, there's chests all around and there's even slur barrels. And now you can get full brick super easily. Like, all of these walls are brick, and then there's trees all around. And for metal, well, there's not that much. There's some metal down there, but obviously you can't get it yet. The water level should decrease in less than a week, so you'll probably get access to that in less than a week. But obviously expect this drop spot to be contested, because again, this is Shark. I wouldn't recommend dropping on this chest right here, because a lot of people drop here and often 50-50 you and try to pickaxe you, and that's just not a good way to play. So I would say land around that chest, or depending what loot you have around you, you can land on a good gun. But of course, always be careful, because the guy who landed here will probably try to beam you. So make sure to build and not get beamed by this guy. But now finally, let's move on to my drop spots. And it is this lake house right here. Honestly, it's such an amazing spot. So I will be definitely landing here for all tournaments. So what I do is land on the top of this building and go get his chest, and then grab some extra loot over here. Then I like to break down over here. There's a floor loot over here. Of course, it doesn't spawn all the time, which this time it didn't. But then basically you go inside, grab some more loot, and if someone is contesting you, they usually drop down and go on the bottom floor. So a lot of times what I do is once they go for this chest, I like to box them in from up top, and then they're trapped basically. And it's a free kill. Like, I just take these careful shots and I can kill them very easily. But yeah, there's another fridge looking thing where you can get more floppers. And talking about floppers, well, there's plenty of floppers that you can get from the spot. And as you all know, floppers are so OP in stacked games. So that is like the main reason this spot is so OP. And then I like to go over here, get some more mats, get some more loot, and then rotate through here to that chest. And then there's another chest in there. So then I get a boat, I go to this spot, and I'm basically done looting. And then all I do is just farm to full mats. Now I don't get full metal, so what I do for metal is I rotate right over here, And there's this thing which gives you some metal, not a lot, but there's another bus over here which gives you a decent amount. And then by the time you should have like 200 to 300 metal. And then finally you can rotate to that spot over there to get your last few metal. But yeah, there's another floor loot spawn and another chest in this, and also another chest over there. And if I have insane loot, what I do is go over to that building and fight people over there, because usually there's someone dropping there. So I go over and just clap them, and it's basically free kill for me. And then of course you have this whole river which can bring you to the center of the map, so you don't have to worry about the zone. But that's basically gonna be it for these drop spots. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, it helps me out so much. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But thank you all so much who watched all the way to the end. You're all absolutely amazing. Good luck in FNCS guys. Peace out.